let's record this because I feel like this is really valuable information as well. And
Yes.
what I'm realizing is there's so many people out there that are looking for this kind of information, and they're like, okay, well, where do we start? So and that's the whole purpose behind why I'm doing this, because it's like, if I'm learning this along the way, I know there are other people that are probably in the same, like there's so many people right now that are trying to figure out this thing. So I guess today we're talking about how to do the video editing once we already have the videos created, and now to make it aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah, like at least like the first insights for YouTube, you know, like we have to, because yeah, we have to have the first insights because we want to build properly. We don't want the building to fall because just one mistake.
Yeah.
No. So we have to make that foundation really good.
Yeah.
And that foundation will mean that we have to understand how it works. And for that, we will have to listen other people that has already gone there and read and know and go, for instance, to Google Analytics, because we have tools for knowing what people is looking for, what is working for others, and we can that way know what is going to work for me. But we have to go inside. So we have this YouTube, and what we visualize, it's just the top of that iceberg, like all this thing down. We have to understand it a little bit, because I am not a programmer, I am not a professional of that. I just read about that and that's it. But we have to kind of understand that. And the top, it's like the visualization part, but all this part, if is nothing that you can see. Those are things like this binary code, this stuff, programming stuff, this algorithm, this language, computer language. So we have to go a little bit into that, because we have to understand how the algorithm works. And by algorithm, I'm talking about, for instance, this is an example. You have been noticing that, especially in Canada, that happens so much more. When you do any kind of research in Google, right? And suddenly you have advertisements about the thing you were looking for. You go into YouTube, and then it's gonna pop out like how to build your YouTube channel. And you go to Google, and you're gonna find an agent's marketing offering you their services, and or maybe a tutorial, a long tutorial that somebody is selling for you. And you say like, why is this happening? Like, oh my God, this is a coincidence. And it's not a coincidence. It's the algorithm, because we have to be aware that we have a personality on the internet. We want it or not, we know it or not, we have a personality, we have a profile in there. Every search, every video, I'm sure that every chat we have, everything is being served somewhere. For instance, in Canada, in Richmond actually, there's like this big place on a park nearby, and I know that in there they have all these big servers storing all this information. Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes. And actually you can go inside, and if you go inside that park, it's like a kind of a big park, like going to Delta. It's a big part on the left side. If you go inside, they told me like, don't go there, because if they catch you, they will throw you out, because like there's the servers are in there. So don't walk there, because I like to walk. And they were like, don't walk there, you will have a bad experience. And I was like, okay. So we have to be aware of that everything we do on the internet is being recorded somewhere.
Yeah.
And that information is being put together somewhere. Yeah. And someone is paying or not paying for that information, but someone is using that. And that's why we want to market. Because when you go and do some marketing, you activate like the search engine. For instance, you have your YouTube channel, and when you put a little bit of money, it doesn't have to be that much. It has to be intelligent money. Yeah. So if you put a little bit of money in there, you're gonna activate that search engine that will help you to build properly your algorithm. And that way, you will really be able to find the people you want to find.
Right.
Because not because you just have your channel, it means you will find the people you want to find. Because we haven't done a profile. The same way we have a profile, you will have to work on a profile for the people you want to approach. Which people you want to see your videos, which people you want to be exposed, because Google will do that for you. But we have to do it properly to place the basics properly so Google can do its magic. So we have to do also a profile, which people you want to reach. You want entrepreneurs, maybe a scale of ages would work, a location will work, because you can do it worldwide. Like, oh my God, I want to reach the whole world and blah, blah, blah. But no, it's going to be really expensive, and that you won't translate that on really people that will engage with you, and you want to engage them, not just to show the videos. For instance, when you do a marketing campaign on YouTube and on Google, I know much more about Google. For instance, when you pay per click, you just don't pay per click, really. It's not every people that click that link you will pay for. No, actually, you just pay for the clicks. And when people spend a little amount of time on your website or your YouTube channel, like it's 30 seconds. After those 30 seconds, then you will pay Google, because that means that you already got the attention of that person that click. But clicking doesn't mean they will buy something. But 30 seconds on your platform for Google and for all this digital community means that you already translate that click into a client, although he hasn't purchased anything. Because when he spends those 30 seconds on your video or on your website, that means he is engaging. He or she was interested on the content. That's why that person spent at least 30 seconds on your website. So that's what you pay for, because we just want to engage people. We don't want to be exposed to everyone. We don't want to let the world know that you are there. You want people that will follow and that will go into your network marketing. And a network marketing especially needs a lot of engagement, a lot of engagement. So we have to be aware of that. And you have to be aware of that, because when you start to learn all this video editing and stuff like that, you have to be aware that the first 30 seconds are crucial for you. Crucial, because those 30 seconds will be, you can introduce those on a person that actually will watch the full video, because that's what you want on YouTube. You want people, you want watch time. So you want people that really take a look into the whole video. We don't care how long it is, 3 hours, 30 seconds, 5 minutes, whatever it is. But we have to really strategize how to engage them from those 30 seconds, from that clicking to actually stay on the video for 30 seconds and actually finishing watching the video. That's like, and by that time, it's like you can clap yourself, because you are creating engagement with the audience. So that's one thing you have to always take into account. Like, you have to do that. I wanted to ask you, what did you pay for? You pay for something on YouTube. They did something to you. I'm asking you this because I want to know what that agency built for you and to know how we can use it, because you already pay for that. So sometimes it's just like the matter of, okay, we have to put this and to put this together and that, and then we can use it because you have it there. So it's not wasted money. What did that agency make for you?
To be honest,
Yes.
so I actually closed everything down, just because I found out that because they were having me go through ClickFunnels. And so the other thing with ClickFunnels is like, because I hadn't like, what I realized towards the end of our agreement was, even though they said, you never want to shut down your system, right? But I'm like, okay, I don't shut down my system. I'm going to be paying monthly fees every single month, right? And I'm not able to use it. Secondly, they told me, I felt like the reason why they were telling me not to shut down the system is because they were making money on the back end because they were recommending or were my referral to ClickFunnels. So I'm like, screw you guys.
Yes.
Right? And the other thing I found out is you don't have to go through ClickFunnels. ClickFunnels is like the top tier on building that funnel, but there are other options. I'm like, oh, well, shut it down then, I'll when I'm ready, that path will show up, right?
Yes, yes. Okay, but you have it available for you, so you won't lose it, for instance.
I had have to look again to see what exactly I do have available. So, but as far as what I know, whatever was built, I have shut it down just because I'm like, if I'm not ready, then what am I paying for, right? So, and the other thing is, this is stuff that they put for me without actually even understanding what my needs were. They were just putting me through their cookie cutter system.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And their cookie cutter system, like, I'm not a cookie. So your system may not work for me.
Yeah, I know. But we have to always be aware because you don't want to lose these from your side. They're doing their job. They're working. They're selling their products, their services.
Yeah.
So that was part of their job. We don't have to fall into the mistake of doing everything they tell you to do because you don't know, and you don't know if they are reliable or not. That's why you have you need a reliable team. For instance, especially a reliable person that on the future will do the campaign for you, because if not, they will charge you and you won't see results, and we don't want that. But that's another step. And for finding someone reliable, we have to search a little bit about that, to know a little bit about that, because that way we can be able to ask the right questions. Because if you don't ask the right questions, they don't have the obligation, although they have, but they won't tell you everything they have to tell you, because otherwise you would say no. Yeah. So that's why we have to go, whether we want it or not, like to understand this marketing stuff, this algorithm stuff, like all this backstage that is going on there, because we want to give proper commands to the people because they know the language. For instance, my brother, he has teach me a lot about CEO on Google, and he speaks to me like, because we're brother and sister, right? And he's like, okay, normally you can do this and that. Other people will do this and that. But you have to do this. Like for me, it has worked like this, and I do this kind of campaign, and you don't have to miss. They will charge you in this. You will say no, because from there they will take apart, and you won't translate those clicks on purchases and stuff like that. But that's also because I read about it and I ask him questions, because otherwise he wouldn't know what to share with me, because they know a lot of things, So when I read, I call him like, okay, I have a doubt. How does it work here? Blah, 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 because I was reading this, or blah, blah, blah. There's this case, this person doing this, and it was really great for them, successful for them, but there's this other case, and he's like the one telling me what to do and what not to do. So, but that's the special part. We need someone reliable, but we can get someone reliable. But the best thing is that you can be your most reliable CEO, marketer, designer, and stuff like that. So, in my opinion, do it by yourself. You can do it. When you really need it, you can pay someone for intervene on that language, computer language that we don't know, because you don't want to be a programmer neither, right? No, exactly, me neither. Yeah, it's like, no, I don't want to dig that much, but at least I have to like to know the basics to understand it, so I can know if they're doing their work. So we have to learn about YouTube analytics, the algorithm, how it works, everything. For instance, on Google, when you do a campaign there, it's really important that you won't pay Google just for exposing your page and for every click, because you're going to be shown on locations that you don't even reach, or your product won't be able to reach. You don't need that. You have to why the audience always, why the audience, why the audience, why the audience. And for instance, in Google on a website, it works, and I'm trying to figure out on YouTube how it works, because it has to work the same way, but I'm also pretty new on this. But in Google, for instance, you go to your website, and on the backstage of the website where you have all these programming languages and stuff like that, you have to be really precise with the keywords. Also in YouTube, we have keywords. That those keywords you will have to use on the video, because YouTube is not actually watching the video. YouTube is reading the content of the video. And when YouTube reads the content of the video, YouTube find the keywords, or you can let them know, but you have to use them. So you start to optimize the search engine inside your channel, inside your website, inside your Facebook page. So that's like the keywords. I want to know precisely how keywords work on YouTube. I think it's pretty similar how it works in Google, because also I was reading like on YouTube and in Google, they work hand by hand, but you have to link them. So what do I mean by keywords? For instance, when I had my website, I went inside Google Analytics, and I searched what people were searching that was pretty close to my product. For instance, it was a shoe rack. So I call it like round shoe rack. And that's my keyword. But that's not others people keyword, that's just my keyword. So I had to go to the analytics and to know word by word which word that fits my product was actually using the people, was on the top ranking. Because whether I like that word or not, I put it inside that programming languages, and I let Google know that my website, my product fit those keywords, because that way I was reaching the people that was already trying to find something like that. So we have to do that also on the YouTube channel, but I haven't figured out properly how it works. I'm still like learning about that. So, but you have to start on your videos. You have to learn more about the thumbnails, how it works. You have to evaluate the thumbnails. Like, I don't know if you saw, there's this pretty easy way of going inside YouTube for the keywords, because those keywords, you will use it on the thumbnails, on the title, because you have to link everything. It has to be round, a round circle. So you will link the content with the thumbnails, with the title, with the marketing you're trying to do. It has to be round, so you won't miss anything. So now we have to, I think for now, we can start like, we can go to the thumbnails to know which thumbnails are working, because there's science behind everything. There's people that has already studied that has results about that. So we have to find, yes, those explanations, which thumbnails work, which everything works, because we want to know which kind of title is better, how to link those keywords properly, because later you're going to run a campaign on your YouTube. Right now, no, because you're building it. And you just don't want subscribers, because that way you can pay someone, a hacker, you can pay, and that person can place you like 1 million subscribers, but that doesn't mean you're having the traffic on your channel. And Google is not stupid, and Google will know like you don't have the traffic, because the traffic is all the times people are watching, all the times people are commenting, all the time people are liking your video, sharing your video. That's the traffic. And that, with a good content, the thumbnails, the keywords, a good campaign will give the success formula for the YouTube channel. Like, it's not just like this separate from this and separate from this. No, we have to find the balance on all those so we can have this successful story that we want to achieve.
This is
So we're gonna go on the thumbnails.
Okay.
We have to find how to do them, which ones are working, which letters we have to use so we can have a proper thumbnail, you know? Like, okay, we have to go there. For that, for your business, for instance, we're gonna go to YouTube. And right now, do you have any kind of keyword that comes into your mind quickly about your business?
Question, what's the difference between tags and keywords?
Oh, it's not like text, it's gonna be like the complete text. Like in this case, on your video, everything you said is being translated on words written down, and that's the full text. But the keywords, like Google, have you heard something about big data? Okay, big data is this thing that it's working right now, and it's the future, because big data, it's like, for instance, there's difference between information and knowledge. And recently Master said that like someone can have a lot of knowledge, but that doesn't mean he has wisdom. A person can have wisdom, but that doesn't mean he has compassion. Like, it's completely different. Exactly. So here it is the same. Like, you have all these texts, blah, 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 but the keywords are actually the things that people is searching for. For instance, when you do a search in Google or on YouTube, I was like yesterday searching like how to do a YouTube campaign. That's the full text. But the keyword, Google is already processing a lot of data all the time, because we are a lot of users. So all the time it's processing every word. But Google has found that every word is not valuable, just the keywords. For instance, when I search how to do a YouTube marketing campaign, my keywords was YouTube marketing campaign. Google doesn't care how to do or how to build or how to watch a YouTube campaign. Like, he doesn't care about that's yours. I don't care about that. I just care about YouTube marketing campaign. Those would be the keywords, or maybe just YouTube marketing, because you have to be as short as you can. You don't have to give a lot of information to Google, because he can crack down, because his brain is already like full speed running all day, all time. So it's just like, okay, Google, I'm gonna simplify this for you, and I just want you to match me with people in the area of British Columbia that search for YouTube marketing. Just to that people, and on the age of 30 to 45 years, that are single, because you can widen your audience as much as you can, and that's amazing. And I was talking about the big data. The big data, it's something that is working behind the scenes on internet. And big data, it's like all the search that we are doing, everything, all the keywords, all the content on the search engine from Google, this box where you search, big data translate it and put it in order. And from there, it grabs the keywords, the most used keywords, And for instance, when we use keywords, that's information. Okay, and that's pretty cool, and that's really good for using, and we have to be thankful for having these tools. But that's just information. That's it. You have to translate it. But right now, it's like from 5 years ago, Google is translating that information, is crossing those keywords, that information, it crosses with other kind of information. For instance, Google marketing keyword, but Google has a lot of keywords, but now Google is starting to combine keywords, and that gives us information which is so much more valuable than just data. Sorry, when we have these keywords, that's just data. But when you cross keywords, when you cross data, you can get information. For instance, I can know that here in this neighborhood, there's 65% of population is women. That's the data. But when I know that 65% of population that is woman is also single, I am starting to create a profile. But if I also cross another data that 65% of population that is woman and is single is looking for a job, then I have valuable information and I can be aware of what to offer and where to offer it, because now I know that the 65% is woman, is female, that 65% is, the 95% is single, and they're looking for something else. So that way we can be really accurate to whom we approach. And that's, for instance, the big data. And that's why we need those keywords, because big data uses those keywords, and big data is running all the time. It's part of the algorithm. And that's what we want to really start to play it. Because if we do not go there, as much as you do amazing videos with amazing content, like all this amazing professional edition work, it won't work, because we're not activating the data, the search engine, we're not putting together that. But that's like kind of the difference between text and just keywords, because keywords is the language of Google. For Google marketing, for instance, for marketing, keywords are like the basics, like what is on the backstage. It's the command you're gonna give to that search engine, like, I want this. And we have tools, we have analytics. For instance, when I was in Canada and I was talking about like the social media for body and stuff like that, I was like, okay, I have some experience and I can learn. So I went quickly to Google Analytics, and I just started to play with some keywords, like for instance, retreat, energy healing. What else did I search for? Buddhism. And Google, amazingly, give us all that information so easily. So you just put that keyword, Buddhism, energy healing, and Google let me know how much search he had on its platform about that. And I knew, for instance, that in Vancouver, there's a lot of people looking for that. But surprisingly, in Maple Ridge, the percentage of people looking for retreats, spiritual things, it was higher. We would think normally that, oh no, for sure it's Vancouver because it's the city. But no, it's like, because you can play with the demographics. And I was like, okay, I want to know in Vancouver, and now I want to go in the BC area. How is it? What's the behavior of that? So I was able to look at that. And then I was able to know that in Maple Ridge, like, people is at least searching for that. And that means they have that curiosity, because otherwise they wouldn't be searching for that. And for instance, from that, you can strategize your campaign, because you're not gonna just pop up everything and, okay, my keywords are like energy healing, Buddhism, retreat. And I want to apply it to all Canada or all BC because you're gonna pay a lot of money. But if you go first inside, you do a little bit of research, how is the actual behavior? You can like give the precise order, like, okay, Google, I want to pay you for these keywords, but I want you to expose me in this area specifically, like in Maple Ridge, because we already know that people is already looking for that. Like, we don't have to create the need on them. They already have the need. So you go and you approach them from there.
So it's all almost like saying that your audience is already there. You just have to plug yourself the right way to.
Exactly,
Totally.
exactly. Because all this marketing actually has two basics. Like, with internet, we have the advantage that we can approach clients two different ways. We have the clients that are already there looking for what you are offering, but we have already the potential clients, the ones that doesn't know that they have the need that you are offering, but you have to let them know that they have the need. So there's two ways to approach. For instance, a Google campaign is different from a Facebook campaign. The approaches are different. For instance, in YouTube, you approach people that have the potential need. And you can, if you want, you can create the need. How are you going to create it? By exposing yourself, exposing your content to those, to that profile you built.
Demographic.
Client profile, exactly. But for instance, in Facebook, it's different, because in Facebook, you're not gonna approach that people. You're gonna approach the people that already have the need, that is already inside of that, because Facebook will use their contacts, their profile, their conversations, because we are being watched all the time. They know who we are, what we speak, what we need, what we buy, what diseases we have, because we everything put it on our cell phones or on our computers. So you approach that. But you can do it also, for instance, on Google. You can approach per click. That's a different campaign if you pay per click than if you pay for a CEO positioning campaign. That's so much different. Because you can pay, for instance, Google, like, okay, Google, I want you to give me exposure and I'm gonna pay you per click. But then Google will do whatever you tell him as long as you pay him. Like, okay, I'm gonna expose you. And then he's gonna expose you to 2 billion people, and you're gonna pay for that. Because from that 2 billion, maybe if you're lucky, the 10% will click on your website, and maybe that 10% will stay longer than 30 seconds, and then you start to pay, because they create you engagement and they are presuming they will purchase you something. So you pay per click, and you will give precise commands to the search engine, really precise, because if you're not precise, it's going to be a mess. But also, you, for instance, in Google, you create a positioning campaign, and that means that, okay, Google, I just don't want you to expose me to this audience, to these clients. I also want you to put me on the first top rankings of your search engine. Why? Because I want that people that already have the need and are looking for a network marketing about profits of other business, I want to appear, I want to be the first one. And you have to build that, because not because you're just paying someone, you're gonna really be on the top ranking, positioning on Google. That's why we need like the perfect balance between one scheme and the other scheme, because one goes with the other. Because if you do a really great campaign of positioning, then you won't have to pay per click, because you are already on the top one. But you have to build that, and you build that because of the keywords and this all this algorithm. And I don't know. Oh yeah, because we were talking about the people, the clients that we already have, and they want what we offer, but they don't know we exist. That's why we let them know, like, hey, I'm here and I have what you need. I can provide you precisely what you need. But that's what we're gonna be learning about.
You know what? I am so glad we started recording this because there's so much valuable information there. And I feel like as I'm progressing, like this is my whole reason why I felt like, recording YouTube video, like recording our conversations became a natural progression because the topics, the contents that were being covered were so valuable for
Yes.
me anyway, that I thought there's got to be other people that have to be in the same boat that I'm in, that they would love to have this information. And it's like, and that's the, like, I mean, we were talking about the costly mistakes we've made, and out of that, instead of having it take us down, we're going to learn from it. And yes, it was an expensive mistake, but the lessons has been that much more worth its weight in gold. So it's making me realize that I'm so grateful that that has transitioned into these kind of conversations. And it's like, so the whole purpose behind that is like, if there are other people that are looking for this information and they don't know where to search, it's like, who is talking about the challenges and the hurdles and the obstacles and all the stuff that's like the nitty gritty details that's required in building a successful business. Everybody talks about it's a journey, it's a step-by-step process, but what is all that process? What is all of those steps? And I feel like this is documenting what all of those steps are, because you could have the know-how in the big picture, but unless if you know what those minuscule little steps are, like, okay, you need to have a cell phone. To have a cell phone, you need a cell phone provider. You're going to get bills. You're going to have money. There's going to be all of this stuff that the cell phone itself, there's so much with one little stuff.
Yeah.
But the content is so much content for one to get a pen together. What was required of this?
Yes.
And so trying to take on, like, had I known the journey of a solo entrepreneur as a business person, there's so many moving variations that are like, everybody, first of all, needs to be an entrepreneur,
Yes.
It's like everybody needs to go through, because at the end of the day, the fact that you exist, you are a business, you are an entity. Right? You have a voice, you have an impact to make. And guess what? You're not going to do this by yourself. You're going to do it through collaboration with people.
Yes.
Right? So no, don't go get stuck in a job that doesn't light you up. And like, no kidding, just a day or two, actually last night. So after the video links that you sent me, I also saw a cartoon animated video where they're teaching entrepreneurship in a school for like grade 3 or whatever.
Yes. Yeah, because
It's all collaborating, it's all working together, because how many kids are like, I'm bored in school, so they're doing drawing or whatever because they're not interested in the subject that's being taught. So why not teach them what they are actually interested in learning, so that they are developing their skills? Not everybody has to learn how to be a genius in math or social science or this. So why not cater to what they are specifically designed for? Because at the end of the day, we're still also a machine.
Yeah, we are.
Sense, right? Like, this is a machine of some sort. So, and I'm finding this, right, as I have been progressing through life, it's like, there are many people that I love, but I'm not able to have a dialogue conversation with them. And some of them are even people in my family. So I'm like, I love you, but we're just totally speaking different language. The stuff that drives and it like empowers me is this stuff right here. But that doesn't mean that they're interested in that. So it's like, okay, well, I gotta still let all of this stuff out because there's so much in here that you know, and I'm just so grateful that social media and this platform provides people that full self-expression authentically.
Yes. And I think, and as long as you're authentic, like the audience can sense that, because you can do a lot of things for gaining audience, and they were like recommending that, like, okay, you have to be aware that in maybe the first year you'll have to do videos to engage, to have subscribers, to be reliable, to let them get to know you. And after that, then you are already, you build your authority and you build your audience that already trust you. So maybe in that point you can talk whatever you want and do whatever you want, but like they were very specific. We have to be aware that maybe sometimes we'll have to talk about trending topics because they're trending, and that will be translated on views, likes, comments, and especially subscribers. But yeah, you always keep authentic. Well, I think that's the best thing, to be authentic, because we are already a lot of users, and I'm sure you match with a lot of people outside. So if we use the correct keywords, for instance, right now you can start thinking about which thumbnail you can use at the beginning of your videos, but especially which title you're gonna put on your video, the ones that you have already uploaded, because you're gonna start to work with that. It's like clay, right? Like to shape it and blah blah blah. So start thinking about that. Like try to go and see on the box, for instance, like first steps, or I don't know which title you want to put on that, but like try to know what people is actually looking for and use some of those keywords on your title, and you're gonna start to make this rehearsal. Like, okay, let's see, maybe if I change the title and I place this word here and also this word that I already know people is using, and we know because we go to the box and you just click there and you try to write something, and Google will display a list of combinations. Those are the trending topics. So that way, you know, those combinations, you can use some of that combination or maybe a combination of those, and you will be shown easily because you are already on the logic of YouTube. You're using YouTube's logic. For instance, I wanted to share you, I have a cousin here in Mexico. She started with a blog, a fashion blog. And she has been, right now, she has been like the top one in Mexico about fashion. And she has been living because of that, and she travels a lot. I saw her in Vancouver, for instance. She went to Vancouver, I met her there, and blah, blah, blah. And she travels because of her blog, because she takes pictures, really good quality pictures of herself. Now it's like worldwide, but on the city, and she receives clothes, money. For instance, she runs social media for Swarovski and I don't know which brands, but big brands. And she made that because she was successful with her blog. And now she has like a really ideal life just because of one blog, just because she learned, because she didn't knew, she had to learn how to use it, how to expose herself, how to take a picture, how to make an edition, how to blah blah blah. But she has been doing that 5 years, 6 years, and she lives perfectly. She travels around the world. She's so happy. They pay everything for her. It's amazing, just because of internet. And she has known like artists and this really big designers, like the one from Toes and blah blah blah, because she has authority, and I don't know how it works, but people contact her. And she's really like an artist here. Like everyone in Mexico knows her, knows who she is because of one blog. Yes. Yeah, yeah, totally. It's like amazing. For me, that's my successful nearest story that I have. It's like my cousin. She is amazing. Like, wow. No. She knew how to do it. Yes. Yes. So it's working all the time.
Yes, for sure. Yeah.
Yes.
So let's get to it.
No, you will start with the title. Figure out which is the best title for you.
So, okay, well, you know what? I did. uh, so I personally love it. Just because I had a friend of mine, you know, neighbor, we were, you know, talking one day, whatever, and all of a sudden, like, because I feel like and this is the feedback that I'm getting from a lot of people that, like, you know, you're really good at this, that, whatever, right? And so, you know, and that was like, you know, up until now, I've been doing all these videos for, you know, like all this, you know, business related stuff, whatever. And then there's a part of me that I'm like, you know what, the things that I input is around the topics of like, so my, like what comes authentically from me is I feel like what resonates most with me is wisdom, is words of wisdom to the world. Words
Okay.
of wisdom to the world.
Yes.
Right? And
Yes.
abbreviated, it'll be www dot.
Ah, that's nice.
Triple W dot.
Ah, yeah, that's I like that kind of things, and that's
Yeah.
nice.
Words of wisdom to the world. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, how do like so I do have that. I would love to like let's like this is it, you know?
Okay, so for instance, let me go. But wait a minute. I'm gonna go for my mouse.
Okay.
Yourself.
So I just typed in words of wisdom to the world, and there's wisdom quotes and all that stuff, but nothing particularly on that.
Okay, let's see. YouTube. Let me take a look.
I checked on Google, so that's good you're checking YouTube.
Yeah, for instance, on Google, you can try to search Google Analytics, and it will display you the link so you can go inside, and if you want, we can work with these words so we can know a little bit about that. What does Google tell us?
Okay.
And try to search it and go to the link. I'm gonna go to YouTube to see what
share your screen. Share your screen.
Yes.
Yeah. See what it is that.
Let me see.
I can share my end too.
How do I do that? Therapy. I don't know how to share my. Oh, I.
At the bottom, you should see share screen.
Here, yes. This one. So, can you see now my screen?
Yeah.
For instance, let's go on YouTube. Am I on YouTube?
Yeah.
So let's go there. And for instance, for me, it's going to be different because I'm in Mexico. So I wanted to know how it shows to you. Yeah. For instance, on Google Analytics, I can go inside and by location, I can know in which location. But in YouTube, I don't know yet how to use it properly. But let's see. For instance, words of wisdom. We have to be aware of what is being shown here because those are the trending topics on that platform for the world. Okay, so we have nothing. Let's see. Okay. For instance, here, the keyword would be, we have to erase this because that's just like, we don't need it. Google don't use it. For instance, nothing is displaying.
Wow.
Yes, that would be, that's a little bit weird. Okay, take out words, wisdom, grandson, wisdom words about life. Okay, we have an idea. Yeah. Wisdom words from God about success. Okay, now we have an idea of what? The people that is actually like looking for some words of wisdom, they projected to a grandfather, to the life, from God, about success. So there you have an idea of what you can have on your content. Maybe you want words of wisdom about success, or maybe words of wisdom from God.
Yeah.
But this gives you an insight of what you should be implementing, because this is what already people is looking for, has been looking for. And it's not just one person, it's like a lot of person, because if you're visualizing that in here, it's because Google has already processed all that, and it's like, okay, these are my top searchings. For instance, let's try to go to Google Analytics. Let's see. No, marketing partners blog. No, I don't want to go here.
Right, you're gonna get everything in Spanish.
In what?
You're getting everything in Spanish.
Yes. Oh, yes. Sorry, I have to change that. Well, here now it's in English. For instance, let's go inside. Let's go to analytics. Why? Because we didn't got a lot. Okay, for me, it would be like, okay, now I have an insight of what's happening in YouTube, but I want to know what's happening on Google, because those are the mainly platforms we have.
Yeah.
So let's go. Oh, account details. I don't know with which one I had it. Okay. More than one tracking. Okay. Oh. Oh, it's okay. I don't want to apps. Okay. No, I'm going into another. Okay. We can do a rehearsal, for instance. Maybe we can take the example with Bodhi. We're going to try to go inside the analytics of a Bodhi website. Do you know what the website is? bodymeditationvancouver, right? .com?
Yeah. I think so.
www. Oh. bodymeditationvancouver.com and Bodhi. Okay, I think we don't have to write down, but I don't know. Well, yeah, let's see.
bodymeditationvan.org.
Oh, good. Oh, now I don't accept. Van, right?
VAN, yeah, .org.
Oh, .org.
Yeah.
.org. Okay. Create. Let's see. I accept. Okay, they give you like a lot of options. We don't want to. Okay. Oh, for instance, trying page views for the last, but this is not what I want to show you. Okay, data collection. For instance, well, here's a lot of options. This is not actually where I wanted to go inside. Let me see. Let me see, because I don't want to move a lot on that website because I don't know how it's gonna work. I don't have that permission. Okay.
So you're saying that we could actually get information on like other website
Yes.
analytics?
Yes. You can do, yeah, that's the thing with internet. Like you can do whatever you want. For instance, I didn't know about this, but I had to learn it like the bad way because I was suspecting, I didn't know how someone had a lot of information about myself and what I was doing and stuff like that, where I was at what time. So I started to dig, and then I knew that you can track everything and almost everyone if you know how to do it. Like it's not, Google won't show it to you like easily, but yeah, you can have data of whatever you want. For instance, I was doing the rehearsals because I was trying to figure out what was happening. So on those rehearsals, I remember I spent like 2-3 hours, but I was like, okay, I want to know if I'm able to do this. I was following tutorials and reading a lot of stuff about that, but I was able from an email, I was able to track the IP address from that email, which is easy. And from that IP address, I like take it out the mask of that IP address, and then I got the right IP address, and I was able to go inside a server in another country. It was in Israel, just by one IP. So I was able, just because of that IP, and I did a lot of other things that they were saying on the tutorials, I was able to go inside that computer. And I don't know anything about it, which that let me knew, for instance, when I got to that server, I had to put like the password. People said like, you can hack a password, but that's like too much. I just wanted to know if it was real. And I knew it's real. Like you can do whatever you want on the internet, as long as you know how to do it. You can get whatever you want. You can get the data of whatever you want. It doesn't matter. Oh, but so yeah, you can get data of everything. Logo analytics. Okay, I'm gonna do the same research. No. Marketing platform. For instance, that's a good one. Because how Google works, it's how YouTube works, because they're like, they come from the same father. No, this is not. Okay. For instance, search keywords. How to see the keywords people used to find your website for CEO. Here's to find a breakdown for the very code city that raised. Let me see. Because we can get access to analytics without signing in and having a website. You don't need all that. I'm gonna close this one. Google Analytics search. Okay, why don't you share me your YouTube, and we're gonna go inside and we're gonna go into your analytics.
Sure. Now, do you want me to bring it up on my page, or you want
Yes.
to? Okay.
Yes, exactly. Share your screen and we're gonna go inside. Although we don't have now too much content and Google is not able to do all these things, crossing data,
Yeah.
but we're gonna have more valuable information because, for instance, this is, I don't use this one. Nothing will come out here and I'm in Mexico right now. So it's gonna be different. And in the meanwhile, I'm gonna get into that place of that Google Analytics. No, we don't.
Okay, there it is. Oh, can you see me? No.
Yeah, I can see you.
No, but not my screen there.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay, we all got together now. All right. So let's get this out of the way. Okay, so what am I looking for? The analytics here?
Yes, go to your account on the right part. And from there, let me see. I'm trying to go into mine.
Is your data in YouTube? Is that what I'm looking for?
Yes, we want to go. Let me see how to go. Okay, can you go like to your channel?
Okay.
For instance, I click on channel in mine, and on the left part we have a menu and we have like dashboard, videos, playlist, analytics. You have to click there, analytics. I think it's on the top.
Can you see my screen? Because
no, go to the top of the left menu.
To the top.
Exercise.
Okay, let's go.
No. Okay. Now click on your picture, the one that is at the right side. Yeah, there. Click on your channel. Yeah.
So that's what brings me.
Where did you got the last menu? We were
right here. You said this profile, right? Picture that I'm clicking on. Oh, that's
okay,
just.
click there. No.
Are you able to see that? Manage.
It's on your channel. Oh, YouTube Studio. Okay. And now go to analytics on the left side. Just down your picture, your profile picture. Yes. Okay, so now we start to have data about your channel.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you open, okay, on July 11, you had, yeah, you had more activity. Yes. So, okay, 3 subscribers. For instance, you have views, but I don't think the views are really, go down and you can see how much time people spent on your video, and you can get to know which video is working more. And this works for us so we can know what kind of content people is liking.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow, look at all this.
Okay.
What the heck?
So it's amazing, right?
Yeah.
Traffic source, geographic, viewer age. For instance, in there, you can start to get to know your audience. like who is coming, who is that person, male, female, what does he or she wants, likes. So you have now, I want you to go inside that and start clicking and knowing what it shows you. Because from instance, from there, we have right now like valuable information that we can translate it for the next videos and for having this strategy.
Wow. So
You know what? I'm not listening to you.
This makes it easy for YouTube to know what your video is about so people can find you.
Is that me or you?
This is a really important step. So you want to give your video a title that is obvious. There's no reason to be clever here because you want your title to be literally what people
I
are
think
typing.
that's you.
I don't know. Yeah,
You also want to
I'm
take
on your.
advantage of the description box.
Let me. Oh yeah.
So that's,
Okay. Now, sorry.
that's okay. I'll go to this one because this one's got 67%. So it's like the highest. Like, I mean, should I pick anything in particular or like, let's just do this?
Just for having the insights, just go inside and for you to get used to what it displays you, what kind of information they give to us. Like just click and go around. And for instance, okay, did you see in this video, the audience retention, the engagement, it wasn't as good as it could be. Just for 3 seconds, 3 seconds. So we have to strategize how to improve that. Because now we know that the 70.4% of the people went out of the video at the 27 seconds. And for that, we have strategies, for instance, improve the content, maybe to pop up a sequential video on those 27 seconds, because you already know people is not watching anymore the videos. So maybe you can use that video to engage to another video. And on the second 25 that you know that there's 2 seconds left for the people to be watching your video, you can get like this mini video on your video that has a link to another video. Because we have to remember, we want watch time on YouTube. That's like the main stuff we want, watch time. Because, well, in the future, you can monetize that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the watch time. But now we know that, for instance, the 70.4% of people lives at the second 27. For instance, okay, can you go to, can you click on reach? Okay, do you know what an impression is?
I've heard of it. How many people actually click?
Yeah, but it's not just clicking. Are the ones that click and stay on your channel, on your video, on your website longer than 30 seconds.
Oh.
That's an impression because he's already there. Yeah. If he sees less than that, it's not an impression.
Oh, okay.
You didn't, yeah, they didn't show up enough interest on that, so it's not. Those are the impressions, like you translate every click. The ideal is to translate every search into a click, every click into an impression.
Oh.
Yes. For instance, okay. What I wanted you to see is that you can have all these behind scene information of your video.
This is crazy.
Yes, it is. Yes. All the data is being stored somewhere. Everything is being recorded. Yes. You can know also which platform your audience is using for getting into your channel. For instance, it can be Instagram, it can be Facebook, and analytics will display you all that information. And especially if we pay them, it has to be just a little bit. They will display us a lot more information because they already have it.
Okay. Okay. And when would be the time to ask for that kind of information?
I think, for instance, you have to create your content. That's like, for me, it's like you have to start with that, and as much as you can, because you have to acquire the expertise on that, like recording, going to tutorials. You can maybe purchase and something so you can learn something. There's this platform called Udemy. I'm gonna write it down to you. And they have really good courses, like really complete courses, really cheap, and they give you a professional insight about things. So spend time on that so you can get to know, for instance, how to use this information. Because not because you will read something you will know how to use it. You have to make the rehearsals. I think the best thing could be like, we have definitely to have more subscribers, because you can pay them, you can pay Google, but if you don't have subscribers, you won't be able to use that information on your favor as much as you can. So we have to build your channel, and for that we need the content, and for that we need you to create that content little by little. It doesn't have to be too long. For instance, maybe from these conversations, if there's a part really important about CEO positioning marketing, like you can start learning on the video program how to cut, how to trim that part of the video, and then you can do like shorter videos from these really long ones, because the audience, it's really hard for the audience to stay watching a video for 2 hours if they don't have the interest. So we have to enroll them to, so maybe on these videos you can start doing all these rehearsals, like try to trim the videos on the special parts, and from there you can go inside the analytics, because in there you can see like these keywords, what's people looking for. You can start playing with the thumbnails, because you're gonna start with the video editing and stuff like that. So with the thumbnails, and we can start with the title, and we can see what kind of results we're having with that. Try to trim the videos on specific topics if you can. If there's not a specific topic, maybe you can do a more professional editing later. For instance, you can trim a part of this video with a part of Others Day's video, and you can try to put it together, and then you start to editing and go inside and how to put it together, how from trimming one part and another part you can link it. Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. This is the reason why I'm like, I don't want to be logging that many hours in front of my computer, because I feel like I'm already doing so much of it. And and that's why I was just like, okay, hiring an editor, hiring somebody that can actually do, I can be like, okay, design me that thumbnail, because I'm thinking that the beginning and the end will be the same.
Pretty much.
At least for now, for starters, right? To give them an idea of, general overview of what my topic of conversations are about. And then they can do all the fancy bubbly whatever, because I'm thinking, if I sit there and try to learn all of that now, plus do this, plus, create my business, blah, blah, blah. It's like,
Yes.
my life.
Yeah. For instance, when I did that thing of the container, I practically spent 10 months fully on my computer. Like, I think I was like 18 hours on the computer. I was like, what's this about? Like, oh my God. But yeah, you can hire someone. Yeah, that's so much more better. But I really recommend you don't have to do everything, but I recommend you to do this now, because you have to learn how to do it, because otherwise you won't be able to give the precise commands, and you will spend a lot more money on frustrations and not the results you are expecting. That's why I'm telling you, maybe you don't have to do everything, but just try to know what's that about, the trimming video, what's this video editing stuff about. Because for instance, I don't know there, but if you give someone this video and you tell them like, okay, I want you to edit it, I don't know how much they're going to charge you. Will you be able to support those expenses? Because if you are in that position, do it. Pay somebody. For me, it was impossible for paying for everything, for the container, for the website, for everything, and the designer and blah, blah, blah. It was like, no, I can't. I just can't. I have to learn to do stuff. That's why I had to, because I didn't have all that budget. But if you can, yeah, that's wisest. Hire someone. But definitely the part of analytics, you have to go deep on that.
Okay.
Because on that you can pay someone, but it's not warranty you will have the results. So if you don't want to do that, we can hire someone. I can help you. For instance, we can hire someone here in Mexico. It's going to be so much cheaper to pay someone here in Mexico than in Canada. We can do that. That's wise, just if you have the budget. Well, if you want, you learn it.
Yeah, because I was, because I've heard of programs like Fiverr and all that kind of stuff, right? So I'm thinking, okay, well, instead of me spending my time creating my thumbnail, for example, just hire Fiverr, they can create something, whatever. And because right now it's just getting it going, right?
Yes. Okay, Fiverr, it's a really good option actually, because it has like really low prices, because there's all these. Fiverr, it's a really good option actually. Okay, you can start doing that. Go into Fiverr and try to look for someone that is already doing thumbnails and has a little bit of experience about that, and hire them, and they can do you that introduction and that ending. That's wise if you don't want to spend that much time, because it's tired.
Because I was thinking, like when it comes to like, okay, if they want to see, okay, what my style is, my colors, logos, yada, yada, I'd be like, my personality is in these videos, just go through that, right? Pick up whatever you think and then just put something together. So, and then I can navigate and guide them to like, okay, these are the colors I like. This is, this is my personality, yada, yada. They're speaking to me, they're listening to me, they'll see me. Right? And it's like, okay, pull something together.
But okay, just an advice. You just have to be aware that designers, like they design, and normally they do 1 2 changes. If you want more changes, they will charge you more, because they are doing that. Like every change is their time. And of course, they're gonna charge you. So when you approach them, you have to be like really clear which colors, what size, blah, 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 because after that, they will present what you told them. You will be allowed to do 1 2 maybe even 3 changes, but no more than that. It's going to be like, no, if you want more changes, you'll have to pay it.
So you know what, I'm glad you brought that up, because I also heard that because with Fiverr, what ends up happening is you end up working with just one person, and they give you whatever they give you, and then you're stuck whether you like it or not.
Yes.
There's another option. It ends up being a little bit more pricier, because now they are setting their price tag on what they have produced for you. However, you get a whole bunch of people that are bidding on doing a thumbnail for you, and so this way you've got a few that you can look at and pay for the one that you like the best. But the nice thing about that is you've got a few people that are working on your content versus just one person, one idea, one mind, right?
Yes. Yes, that's good because you have options. But as far as I know, on those platforms, it's since it's like those are gigs. So people, it's like trying to take as much gigs as they can and blah, blah, blah. So they have all these stuff already made, and maybe they will just change a little bit. You know, okay, maybe I'm going to put 3 dots, I'm going to change the color, I'm going to blah, blah, blah. It's not going to be precisely designed for you, which is not bad because it's cheap, and for starting it's amazing. Do it, try to do it, but first learn a little bit about the thumbnails, which is the best display options, which colors are better, so you can give the proper command, like, okay, I want my thumbnail to be shown on the right part, something like that, and you can provide some examples, for instance. But okay, spend time learning that in this color, this kind of letter, blah, 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 because you can have an amazing designer working just for you fully time. But if he does not know how to do the thumbnail, he can do an amazing stuff, design stuff. But that doesn't mean people will like it, because you don't want to be pioneer now. You want to mimetize the work that has been working. So learn about that, and yeah, hire someone. Fiverr, it's okay. The other platform is okay because you will have different options, but first know what you're gonna ask for. So if you can, go do a little bit of research about these thumbnails. You can do the research about the thumbnails, for instance, people that is already on your business. You can try to search for it on the searching box and try to see which are the successful stories in this business, so you can go inside their channel, their work, their stuff, and try to know what's working for them. You won't be able to go inside their analytics as you can went inside your channel, but you can have an idea what's working for them. So try to search for the business you are in, or what all this business, you know, what's the idea of this business, because I'm sure there's already a lot of people in the same business with their YouTube channeling, and we have successful stories. So try to reach them and observe what's working for them, how much subscribers they have, how much views, because we have a lot of times that maybe you have 3 subscribers, but you upload a video, it goes viral, and then you have like 1 million views. You don't need precisely all these subscribers. Like, it's like we need to find the perfect formula. I think